Well, Betsy, here in our orchard, we're lucky enough not to have any cedar apple rust right now. But if people have that, what should they be looking for on their apples?
The type of symptom that you'd be seeing would be a spotting of the tissue, mainly on the leaf tissue initially, although you may end up seeing problems on the fruit as well. The first types of spots probably are more of almost an orange color, and as the season progresses, what you'd probably be seeing is that if you look on the undersides, those spots will start to have kind of projections coming out the bottoms of them. Those are the main symptoms people use for identification.
Okay, now this disease affects not only apples, but also crab apples, right?
Right, the flowering crabapple, yeah.
Okay, well now what is available for someone to control this disease?
Well, the best measure for control is always choosing resistant varieties. There's probably no better way to control this disease than that. The other thing you can do is try to rake up leaves at the end of the season. You may experience a lot of defoliation with this disease, but raking them up will reduce the amount of fungus that's there for next year's infection or the infection of the cedars. But after that, those cultural controls, the next thing you could do is try to do fungicide applications, and they have to be timed at the right time. That would be right around bud break is the right time to do applications. One of the big problems though is that a lot of fruit trees aren't labeled anymore on chemical labels.
Okay, so for an actual fruiting tree you may not have as much control, but for the ornamental crab apples you've got more choices.
Certainly, there's a lot more chemicals available there.
Okay, well now this time of year this disease also has an alternate host, and what would people be seeing? I see you've got an example there.
Yeah, so we managed to find a gall that you would see on a cedar tree or a juniper tree. This one is actually emerging. We can see the little, what we call horns, coming out of the brown gall. You may not quite be seeing that yet, or you may have after some heavy rains. After it rains more and the temperature warms up, we start seeing these really gelatinous orange masses show up on the tree. They're like jello kind of on the tree, and that is the same fungus as what attacks the apple tree, but it's a different stage of the life cycle, and it only will show up, that gelatinous stuff, on cedar trees this time of year.
Okay, now a common fallacy is that if someone wants to plant a true cedar in their yard, it could be a host. Is that correct?
No. A lot of people are confused by the term cedar. Cedar's a term that's been used for a number of different plants, including junipers, and junipers are the host, one of the hosts of cedar apple rust. It's really juniper apple rust.
Okay, so those eastern red cedars that we see are really junipers, and they're the host.
Right.
Okay, well, if you have cedar apple rust and you'd like to know more about it, we have a fact sheet available at the county office. It lists controls, and it also lists resistant apple cultivars that you can plant.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.